Have you ever felt like you're just not being heard? Like your personal boundaries are basically invisible to someone? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dive deep into the psychology of respect, and we're going to uncover a really powerful strategy to make sure your boundaries don't just get acknowledged, they get respected.
Think about that one conversation where you felt like you were just talking to a brick wall. You make a totally clear point and nothing. It's either ignored or they steamroll right over you or they just kind of casually dismiss it. It's so frustrating, right? And it can leave you questioning not just what you said, but your own value in that moment.
Now here's a pretty challenging idea to chew on. What if being disrespected isn't just random bad luck? The big idea we're exploring here is that we often, and totally without realizing it, we teach people how they can treat us. And you know what the powerful part is? What has been taught can absolutely be untaught.
Okay, so to fix this, first, we have to really understand what we're doing that just isn't working. The thing is, when we're faced with disrespect, our gut reactions are often the very things that are secretly making the problem so much worse. You know how it goes. Our instincts just kick in. We get angry, we try to argue the logic, we pour our hearts out hoping they'll finally get it. Sometimes we might even shut down completely or start pleading for them to just understand. And look, while every single one of these reactions feels justified in the moment, they all send the exact same signal. You're emotionally distressed. And paradoxically, that's the very thing that fuels the disrespect.
So what is it that makes someone a target for chronic disrespect? Well, the answer is in these subtle psychological signals we're sending out without even knowing it. It's like this whole communication breakdown that's happening just beneath the surface.
Okay, this is exactly where the signals get crossed. You might think your desire to be agreeable is a good thing, a way to connect with people. But someone who's prone to disrespect, they see that and interpret it as weak boundaries, a sign that you'll put their comfort way ahead of your own. You show a genuine emotional reaction because you're hurt, but they don't see your pain. They see a button they can push to get a reaction and ultimately control the dynamic.
This is where we completely flip the script. Instead of just reacting emotionally, we can start responding strategically. And to do that, we're going to borrow a really powerful concept from psychology that's been around for over 100 years, behavioral conditioning.
Now, I know what you might be thinking, the word conditioning. It can sound a little cold, maybe even manipulative, right? But it's really just a word for teaching through action. It's a core psychological principle. You're simply setting clear standards with your actions, not just your words. You're teaching people that respect is the absolute baseline requirement for getting access to your time and your energy.
This right here is the key. Every single interaction is a lesson. So when you don't stop disrespect, you're pretty much allowing it. When you keep engaging after it happens, you're actually reinforcing it. The power to change this whole dynamic isn't in what you say in the heat of the moment. It's in what you do right after.
So how do we actually put this into practice? Well, it all comes down to one core strategy, and it's called reducing access. And get this, because this is the big, revolutionary, and kind of counterintuitive idea. Our instinct is to lean in, right? To argue more, explain more, try harder to be understood. But the most effective strategy is to lean out. When a boundary gets crossed, you don't offer more of yourself to the situation, you offer less. This whole thing breaks down into 3 simple but really powerful steps. First, you just get better at identifying the exact moment a boundary is crossed. Second, you consciously disengage your emotions. No anger, no pleading, just calm observation. And third, you reduce your presence. That final action, that's what does all the teaching.
Let's talk about what this looks like in the real world. Say someone keeps interrupting you in a meeting. You don't argue back. You just calmly say, "Excuse me, I need to make a call," and you physically leave the conversation. Or you get a condescending text message. Your replies become shorter, more formal, less frequent. You are actively teaching them that disrespect equals less access to you. It's that simple.
Now, to make this strategy really stick, it takes more than just new actions. It actually requires a huge, fundamental shift in your entire mindset about what you're even trying to do here.
This is the crucial mindset shift right here. You are not trying to force anyone to change. You're not trying to control them. You are simply demonstrating through your calm actions that you value yourself too much to participate in interactions that devalue you. Any change in their behavior is just a side effect of the change in yours.
And that, right there, is the ultimate source of power. See, this strategy isn't really about them, it's about you. It brings the focus right back to the only thing you can ever truly control: your reactions, your choices, and your boundaries.
When you master those, you become unshakable.
So I'll just leave you with this to think about. Imagine for a second the energy you would get back, the confidence you would build, and the quality of the relationships you would have if respect wasn't something you had to constantly fight for, but was just the default. Communicated not by anything you said, but simply by how you valued yourself.